is possible. It started with a dream.
Hello and welcome to today's Global Stampin' Up vlog hop. All the participants today in our vlog hop, our video hop, will be all using the same one sheet wonder. Here we see one piece of 6x6 designer series paper. Each person will be using that 6x6 in that manner. For my one sheet wonder, I'm going to be using the beautiful Sunshine and Rainbows 6-inch designer series papers. These are one of the options that you can choose for free during January and February 2022 with a minimum qualifying order. So these papers feature 12 different designs and then 12 different designs on the reverse. So beautiful sets. There's 24 designs in total in that pack. This is the sheet I will be using today, and it's one sheet of 6x6 paper. Now, to follow our one sheet wonder layout, I'm going to be taking 1.5 inches off either the top or the bottom, and that will be the bottom piece, and then our 6-inch width will be cut at 3 inches. And then we will be left with our layout just put together again, roughly. I'm using the note card and envelope to show you two different sizes. So here are the ones that I've done with my full size cards, and this piece would be then be cut at landscape for those two cards. So if you imagine that panel and that panel and then a long panel across the end, this is our layout. It just depends on which way you cut your 1.5 inches strip off the back. This is the back of this paper. Okay, so it's just depends on whether it's a one-way design or not. So my design today, I'm going to have these this way up, and these will go upright on my card and one strip. Okay, I'm going to be doing it slightly different again. And I've taken two of our note card and envelopes, and they come pre-scored. I love these. They are so useful. They are shrink wrapped in a pack of 20. And then we have the envelopes as well. And I will be using those a little bit later. I have two matte layers to go underneath those two layers of my paper. So one of these is going to sit on there, and the other one I've already pre-cut some die cut letters out from. So this is called gutting, when you take the middle out of your card. So I've got one done and one not, so you can see the difference. And I'm going to adhere both of those down to my base cards here. Just go around the outside and then a little tiny dot in the middle.
Anything is possible. It started with a dream. Our passion made a difference and built a family. We've grown strong together. You know it's all because.
So next we're ready to place on here the two panels.
And doing what we love. You can bet it doesn't matter where you go. You find a friend who does just what they love and lets it show. One card at a time can really change the way we live. Focused on the share.
Now, because I've done some of the die cutting beforehand, I'm just going to place those out of the way for now. On my mat here, I have some words that say thanks and you, for one each for both of the cards. And then I have a branch. I'm going to be using some leaves and then some flowers. Now, if I tell you where these have come from, the thanks and you have come from Amazing Thanks dies. And you have the outer and innie of that, and then you have You Are Amazing, so you can use them in whatever combination you like, and that accompanies from the Amazing Silhouettes. And then for the branch and the flowers, I've taken those from the Iconic dies. This is a standalone die set that has no stamp set with it and can purely be used on its own. Absolutely beautiful, lots of uses. My first step is to shorten the word thanks, because I'm going to use thank you, so I need to just snip off the S on here. So if I just take that one off at a jaunty angle and discard the S, and the same on the other one, because it doesn't really make sense, the thanks you. Okay, so then I won't forget to do that. And now I'm going to bring on my Tombow and just squeeze a little puddle on here and a piece of sponge. I'll massage some of the Tombow multi-purpose adhesive into the sponge, and I'll take my tweezers and I'm going to, oops, drop that because I'm recording, hey? So I've taken that over, turned it over, and I'm going to be placing the Tombow just gently on the back here. You don't want to have a really thick amount, you just want to massage it in gently, going along the bottom and the top of those. Okay, and I will take the word here that I'm going to be using. I start one side, find an anchor point, so usually with the first long letter, and then just gently place this down. You'll see I'm using my tweezers here to make sure I don't stretch it and it all lines up nicely. And this long branch for the T, I just slide gently back into the middle of that rung there. Okay, so that's all nice and fine and finished. So I'm just going to do the same and just snip this off at the end. So I'll snip off the S, and if you want to round those corners you can just take the edges off those because everything else is flowing nice and smoothly. Okay, so that's just taken that one out. So that one's finished and ready to go. And I'll do the same with the others.
One card at a time can really change the way we live. Focused on the sharing and the chance we have to give. You can do most anything, so just do what you love. Live it, share it, you know it's what you're dreaming of. What we love, what we do.
So I'm going to slide that to one side and bring back my cards. And I'm going to adhere those layers down onto my card. So I'm using this one in full, and this is going to be positioned near the top of the card. Slightly different to the full-size cards I did because we're working on a portrait layout, which has enabled me to show you how to shorten the dies. This will be about a third of the way down. And the U will be positioned over to the right hand edge.
You can do most anything, so just do what you love.
Okay, there's the cards. Now for my flowers and the branch, I'm going to be snipping this to make some little foliage pieces. Try not to get in the way of the camera. Just have some little snip pieces off here like so. Okay. And then for the flowers, I'm going to be using the ball of my hand and just use my knuckle and just press in there just to shape them slightly on the larger ones. Okay, if you want to, you could actually use the Tombow lid, or you could press into your mat and have the same effect. And the same for the smaller ones as well. So just press those in and turn those round. Just a minor problem there, I couldn't find my dimensionals. So I'm going to place one of the mini dimensionals in the centre of each of the flowers and remove the backing. And then I will place the little one, the medium-sized flower from the iconic dies. I'm going to place that in the centre, just offsetting the petals below. My tweezers do make this a light and easy task to do. So then I'm going to be placing some adhesive onto the bottom of the flowers here. I might snip that one further still. So I'm going to be putting adhesive on this end, so I'm just dipping that into the adhesive on there and placing it underneath. I'm just holding it for a few seconds for it to dry. and then the other one will be the same on the other side. So I'll dip that in the adhesive and just place that somewhere else underneath the flower, just so it's poking out the end. And then with my tweezers holding that, I'm going to apply some adhesive to the back. A nice good puddle on there. And this one will be coming onto the front of my card here. I'd like to have the flowers coming away from the greeting. So I'm just going to be pressing that on there and holding that in place. Okay, and you can do that with tweezers or the rounded edge of your Tombow lid. It's just giving some decoration just to coming out from the side of your card there. And then we'll do the same all over again with the other one.
You can do most anything, so just do what you love. Live it, share it, you know it's what you're dreaming of.
And that one will be sitting on this card here with the branches coming down away from the flower. A little puddle on there. And then we'll hold that in position while that one sets as well. Okay, I think I'll use my bone folder because it's a little bit bigger. If you flatten your flowers, having rounded them, you can always pull those up again at the end. Okay, so I'm going to remove my sticky mat out of the way. And there's my two cards side by side with the flower. Make sure that they're still level. And I'm going to take my rhinestones. Now these are the champagne rhinestones. These are one of my favourites. And because of the orangey colours in here, I'm going to be using the large one into the centre of the flower, making sure that I cover all three of those small dots. Press it down in the middle and then you can lift up the leaves to shape your flower again. Okay, just slightly there. And this one on here. Even though I'm putting it onto a Magenta Madness pink flower, it's still got the orangey colours of the papers on there as well. So there's my two cards. So there's two out of the three pieces. Now on my other designs that I showed you at the beginning, I've used the strip on one of the cards. I'm going to show you on this one how to use the strips for one of the envelopes. On my sample, I've attached this strip across the envelope, but I've used the Bermuda Bay card. This one I'm going to do for the pink card, the magenta. So I'll take my envelope, and if I hold this strip, the bottom of the design, if I hold that across there, you will see that there's a little gap along the top there. So what we're going to do is to break that up by adding a strip of card. So this is the same Magenta Madness card, and I just want this to go along the length of the card and extend a little bit beyond. So just pop a little bit of adhesive on there, and that's up to the crease line. So it's just up to that line there, so that when you fold the envelope it can't be seen. Now I am just going to take those edges off here and this end. Okay, and get rid of those. Now for the rest of the envelope, this piece will be covering the whole envelope. So I like to see where the bottom of the envelope is here. You can see where my finger is, that's the bottom of the envelope. So we want to come down to about here. So about half of my strip, this was just a scrap, so half of my strip will be covered in adhesive as well, and all round the edge, the rim of that envelope flap. And then this will be placed over the top of there. And you'll know that exactly the bottom of the envelope flap is covered. Making sure that they're nice and straight along there as well. On this card, I'm tying in the colours on this envelope. So I'm going to take a narrow strip of the Bermuda Bay that's just going to bridge that gap. So if I bring back my trimmer, and I'm going to place it level along the edge here, and just go down just a few little marks on the trimmer, just to take a very narrow strip, and that will be even down the guillotine here. And that little strip will bridge that gap and finish it off nicely. So then I'll take my Tombow once again and just drizzle down that line. It's got a little bit high. And I'll place that right side as we cut it along that edge. And that final piece along there just makes all the difference. So now we're finished, I can cut the rest of the surplus card and paper away.
You can bet it doesn't matter where you go. You find a friend who does just what the love and lets it show.
And there is the edge of our envelope. It goes with this card and then the one that I did earlier on this card. So that shows how you can cut one piece of 6-inch card to make 2 cards and 1 envelope flap. Alternatively, you can have the strips cut this way and this is the long strip down the side and make 3 cards. Thanks again for joining our global Stampin' Up vlog hop. You can find us here on the last day of each month, bringing you an additional project. Please remember to click the like and subscribe button and join our channel so that you can be notified when we next appear. Click in the description below to find the next person in today's hop. They too will be sharing the One Sheet Wonder layout. Thanks again for joining us and hope to see you again here soon.